By the way, folks, when I say 2025 is going to be wilder and more raucous and raunchier than ever, I'm not kidding. It really is. Politico, a news outlet I've never even heard of, are now No, because Donald Trump, the 47th president, Hitman 47, has executed an executive order for them not to get any more funding. Why? Because these are the same lunatics at Politico who instigated anti-GamerGate views for people who were just opposing that ridiculous movement all the way back in 2014. Oh my God, it is absolutely hysterical. So if you want to stick around, folks, and I know you do because you love my introductions and my opening titles, well, we'll talk about this article even further because quite clearly it's the biggest pair of nookie-wookie tits I've laid my hands on in ages.
Watch this space.
The next half hour.
He brings you.
Politico took $8 million in US aid taxpayer money while attacking GamerGate and pushing the anti-gamer narrative. Trump admin just cut them off by the ghoul sack. So the funding bombshell was highlighted by ex-user Nalsdane, who pointed out that Politico has published multiple articles across GamerGate, consistently framing it as disinformation and harassment campaign. Oh my God, of course you do, because we're the bad guys and sometimes the bad girls, depending if you're a male today or a female tomorrow. Pushing narratives about diversity in gaming. So Politico are all for that, by the way, like your sweet babies, forcing companies to inject that crap into video games. Politico has published multiple articles, 22 to be precise. In fact, if you just go over to their website and then you can see all 22 hits right here, all highlighted with the phrase GamerGate. And my God, why is Taylor Swift there? We don't even care about her or her politics. And I hope the Kansas City Chiefs lose at this Super Bowl 59. I can't wait till it gets to 69 because you should probably have topless cheerleaders at that particular occasion. Here's a quick recap of GamerGate 1 in 2014. So an independent video game developer called Zoe Quinn would actually make friends with gaming journalists. She would sleep with them, and in return, they would write favorable articles about her video game, which nobody gave three shits about. And in fact, I heard a story that if you took two Greyhound buses together, that's the amount of men she allegedly slept with, while, by the way, she had a long-term boyfriend. Well, I say long-term because he then deleted himself afterwards. He wrote a 6-page document about her abhorrent behavior, how he just stood by the sidelines and just heard about her exploits with these gaming journalists out there. That's why they call it the gaming journalistic ethics about GamerGate Part 1. And then on top of that salad, folks, that shit salad, you also had Anita Sarkeesian, who was also dubbed the most hated woman in America at that time because she received death threats because she went out there as a woman in a male-occupied space to point at that characters in Zelda, the female ones particularly, were all damsels in distress, and we've got to change that, folks.
What? Shut up, listen, and learn. Avoid women directors. They ovulate. Do you have any idea what that does to a 3-month shoot? I mean, do I need to say more?
Next. That has been a trope in entertainment for many years before video games were even a thing. So again, I don't understand why she thought it was a good platform for her to have her little soundbite. But as you're going to see in this article, folks, it all backfires against her as well, calling them out for what they are, a bunch of female, fraudy, fake grifters. I was just trying to think of things off the top of my head, folks, and that's what poured forth from my pretty face.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is.
And I'll tell you what, it obviously hasn't been a good use of the Americans' tax-paying money, because it's gone shit like this. Instead of entertaining the public and giving them what they want at the cinemas and in video games, you're telling outlets like Politico to just inject that fake narrative about, yeah, you gamers hate us and we're going to make sure we hate you back. Because if you're not aware as well, folks, there were websites like Destructoid at the time where Jim Sterling, when he was still a man, used to work for. And if by chance they would actually make videos regarding certain video games they didn't like anything about, the discourse would be that the developers would attack them. And then again, in return, people like Destructoid would probably attack the people that are fans of theirs, saying, bro, what are you smoking? What are you doing? This is not right. I thought you were on our side, and clearly they are not. So GamerGate 1 is just, it's not even dead and buried, really. Again, there were some legitimate cases of people being harassed and abused. That goes without saying. But the overall consensus is that when you look at Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian, they are two of the forebearers that really ignited something that just got out of control, because women just can't stay out of male spaces. But when men cosplay as women and try to invade female spaces, that apparently is a-okay. Obviously it's not, but I'm just pointing out the weird dichotomy there. So I find this very, very, it's a bombshell. It's a nuke. Now, do I think it's actually going to clear the path for better things to come? Eventually, but not right now, because you still got Larry Fink, you still got BlackRock, you still got Vanguard, right? Those people still have their DEI and ESG money embedded in companies like Netflix, certainly Microsoft most famously, and it's going to be hard to root them out and get rid of them as well. But maybe this government might do something in America about it. I don't know. I wish we had something like that over here in the UK, but we're so past that point already, folks. I don't know what else to say. Bye, Miss Livette, you lovely looking lady. She's a good spokeswoman. I like her. So Donald J. Trump has said the following: looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID. I think he made a mistake with the word stolen. And other agencies, much of it going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats. The left-wing rag known as Politico seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? I'm willing that they did, actually. Who else? This could be the biggest scandal of them all, perhaps the biggest in history. The Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too doity. So here's a damning tweet from Carl Benjamin, who stated the following: I just wanted to play video games, but the charity funding contributions to Anita Sarkeesian's ridiculous feminist frequency platform, look what they got in terms of contributions. $235,000.
Launched a Kickstarter for Tropes vs. Women in Video Games. I asked for $6,000 to make 5 episodes. I was about to hit publish on the campaign. I was like, I don't think we can raise $6,000. We should drop it to $4,000 just in case. It was funded within 24 hours.
Avoid women directors. They ovulate.
And this is all attributed to US aid giving up money to outlets to create fake news. Isn't that just wonderful, folks? Well, of course it isn't. So I find it absolutely hilarious that this is all happening now. It's good. I don't feel sorry for Politico at all. They deserve what they get because, again, if they went around feeding out false narratives about video games, how we are the harassers of titles that we don't want because you're injecting ideology into it, well, that's not our problem, bub. That's now yours, and you're going to have to face the consequences. It's great. Now, is this a reason to celebrate? Is it time to bring out the cheerleaders and the ticker tape? Probably not, because while there's going to be a lot to be done to clear up the house or whatever, and in fact you had Doge, which is Elon Musk's department that's meant to do this whole turnaround, the whole shift in the paradigm, so to speak. It's going to be a while. Again, like I've said in this video today, you still got BlackRock, you still have all these other morons out there who are going to try and fester and promote ESG and DEI throughout the course of other entertainment productions. It's going to be difficult to know what this actually means, but I'll tell you what, it's a, talk about cutting off the head of the Hydra. Possibly this is going to be a good move because it now leaves other, again, the New York Times was mentioned, so are they going to be called out next? I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But holy shit, folks, it's only February of 2025 and already we've got this cake storm happening, and I find it very, very funny. I know, cake storm. I mean, I don't know where that came from, but it's one of my favorite machinations. And on that one, folks, if I were you and if you were me, you should definitely come back for the next video.
Do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money?
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Dream of me. I'll make your dreams come true. Everything's possible with me.